Hello again. Here we are. Questions find courage. This is Ask a Bee. And today, Dallas, we're going to talk about something heavy, something close to home. I can't get this off my mind. And something, that we can't stay silent about. Um, Dallas, my heart is with you. Our hearts are with you. We lost someone with a smile as big enough to light up a field. He was a young man who made his first touchdown not long ago, a man with a future people were already celebrating, and yet he was hurting in ways none of us could see. That's the part that has me up at night. And I think that's the part that's sitting in every living room across North Texas right now. Now, Marshawn Kneeland didn't look like he was losing the battle. In fact, he looked like he was winning it. Finally getting his moment, finally stepping into his purpose. For so many young men, he was the dream. But sometimes the strongest ones, the ones everyone leans on, the one whose smile is the biggest, the one who keeps showing up, are carrying the most silent weight. And today, Ask a Bee is not just a show. Today, we are a community trying to understand how someone so loved, so gifted, so admired, and could be hurting so deeply. So today's question is mine. And I think it's one that so many of us are asking, and it's pretty simple. How do we show up for people who look like they're okay, but they're really not? And how do we honor a life that mattered to so many? Now, listen, I have been blessed today, thankfully. Big Jack is in the studio working his tail off as always, and he has showed up for me today, and I think there is no other guest better to talk through this with than him. So if y'all will give me just 1 second, I'm going to bring him up the proper way because he probably didn't think I was going to do this either. Here it comes.
Oh, wow.
There you are. I went looking through it. I cannot bring you up on the stage without it being proper now.
Well, I apologize.
Oh, that's proper.
I'm going to come off real quick and I'm going to come back up. Give me a second here. Okay?
All righty.
I'll be right back, but I'll be right
Got
back.
it.
Yeah,
It's okay, boss. Go for it. Okay. That's all right. We're just going to talk about some other stuff real quick. Like how we do have a new spinoff coming up on Sunday with Miss Mama Lyons, my bestie from Bestieville. Please, y'all go and support her. This is her first show, her debut, and I know you people can do this, okay? We have got to go show her how much we love her being here with us, all right? Be there. And I know Big Jack has some really good-looking new guests coming up. Look very inviting, and I'm so excited to get into them. We've got all kinds of things that are going on in the Sharpening Iron universe. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I am so very, very happy to be a part of this. Extremely happy to be a part of this. So let's talk a little bit. Let's start this way. And he can answer this when he comes up. I'll ask him again. No problem. But there's a question that I think that we need to ask ourselves is, what do you think that Marshawn showed us without saying a word? I mean, for me, here's the truth. Marshawn showed up, okay? He trained. He smiled. He celebrated his benchmark moments. He did everything young athletes are told to do. Push, hustle, grind, keep moving, and yet something inside him was heavier than everything happening around him. And I think that's going to be our lesson for the day, because success it does not cancel out your struggle, okay? Smiles do not prove someone is okay. And strength does not mean a person isn't hurting. Hi, Nisi plus sister. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for being here. This one's a little tough on me. I promise you, I won't be up here crying this time. You ready? Come on back up here, mister. Not yet. That's okay. All right. So, strength does not mean a person isn't hurting. We have a habit, especially in sports and especially with young men, of assuming the loudest, strongest, biggest, most talented one is invincible. And strong people break quietly, okay? They break alone. You understand? And we don't say that to shame anyone. We say it because we care. And Dallas deserves this honesty. Now, don't you feel like we have to stop believing that they're just fine, just because they look fine? It's a mask. They all wear a mask. What you don't understand is they've learned that mask from a long time. It's taken them a long time to get through this, okay? And, we're not blaming or guessing. We're just trying to understand that strength doesn't protect you from pain. If anything, strong people hide it better. And we just got to start showing up. We got to start asking people, hey, are you okay? I've said this a couple of times now. Seriously, you have to stop and ask people, are you okay? It's not hard to do that. People need that. Even when they say they don't, they need somebody there to ask them, hey, are you okay? And if they're not, then don't brush it off. Stay there and listen. If it takes 3 days to get it out of their system, stay there and listen. Sometimes that mask can be pulled away by just saying, I'm here for you always. Okay? So, you try and you try and you think you see all the signs, but like I said, the strong, they hide it a lot better than some of us that are easier to talk about it, And I guess what I'm really saying is there had to be something there that just wasn't something he could tell his family. It had to be. Otherwise, we'd be hearing about it, right? Now, I'm not trying to speculate, and this is not one of those shows where we're going to talk about things we don't know, because I don't know exactly what happened. I do know that it happened very close to my home, because I am in Cowboy Nation, deep in the heart of Cowboy Nation. Dallas is my stomping grounds, And I can tell you, I've gone out and about a little bit, not too much because, we don't really want to, but it is a somber mood in Dallas. It is a somber mood in Texas. And I hate that this person did not know how much he was loved before he left this world. Because let me tell you, as bad as it could have been, it wasn't this bad. Now, I've put in both chats, mine and Jack's, and to let you know that if you or someone you know is going through a really hard moment and needs to talk to someone right now, you can reach out anytime. Calling, texting, dial 988. Okay? 24/7, free, confidential. You don't have to tell them your name. You don't have to tell them anything. Just talk to them. Just talk to them. Find somebody to talk to. And let me tell you something else, okay? Big Jack and I both, Mama Lions, every single one of us, if you need somebody to talk to, you just go right ahead. We're right there, okay? If you need anybody to talk to, we're here too. And we care very much. Big Jack was on yesterday after Ask a Bee. And after discovering all this and seeing the show, he felt it too. He did. And he got online and he showed his care and his concern and his compassion. And, for somebody that's so far away from Dallas, Texas, that is a pretty remarkable thing for someone to do. It doesn't matter whose team it is, okay? It doesn't matter whose son or whose brother. It doesn't matter who it is. Ask them if they're okay. Be there if they say no. If they say they are, don't push it, because sometimes that pushes them too. But be there if they need you. And maybe if you see a sign, mention it to someone else. That way later on, you don't have to carry that thinking, you know what, I thought I saw something. Don't do that to yourself either. Don't carry more than what's yours, okay? Pardon me. Wasn't expecting to talk all this much. Just kidding. So I guess, we have to stop believing that they're fine. We have to. Just because they look fine, they're not. They're not always. I have a very nice mask that I wear sometimes. In my family, you know what? They've learned how to recognize most of it, but there are some times that they're not sure. And let me tell you, this is not just on the people around Marshawn, okay? Marshawn found it in some way, he found that it was way too difficult to talk to anybody. Something happened that was way too much for him. And regardless of how he passed, he was a good man on his way. And nobody should judge him for what's happened. No matter what comes out in the news, which, in fact, Dallas, I'm asking you right now, y'all put that on hold. Don't listen to the news. Okay? Because sometimes you get an earful of what you don't want to hear. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to come on here and give you the news update. That's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is to talk about what you're feeling about what just happened here. Because there are good people everywhere, that just need one question asked. Are you okay? So, I think this is what Dallas really does need to hear. There's no blaming, no guessing. Understand, okay, that strength doesn't protect you from pain. If anything, strong people hide it better. Remember that, please. And seriously, how do we show up for the people that we love? Okay? We have to stop assuming the toughest one in the family, the team, the friend group, whichever, doesn't need help. We have to stop assuming anything. Okay? they need to hear it most. They need it the most. The ones that are quiet, make them speak up, please. There you are. Everything okay?
Oh, everything's perfect. No, I
Awesome.
apologize. Like I said, we were busy. It was still taking care of some things, and then some people we reached out to finally got back to me, which is good. So
Oh, yay. Okay, good
trying to
deal.
get new guests, and always trying to build a lineup. So,
Heck
yeah.
yeah. There you go, boss man.
But thank you
Always
for
making
allowing
that
me to be on your
universe
stage.
again. Yes.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
being up here.
And I know it's more of a sad occasion in a serious occasion,
Yeah.
because of the untimely, I would say, death of a NFL player from
Mhm.
the Dallas Cowboys. But at the same time, um, without a doubt, mental illness is real, and we definitely
Mhm.
need to make sure that if we see someone that's going through, and if we can catch it, that we do our best to point that out. If it's not saying you have to confront the person, but help that or get that person some help. And
Absolutely.
that's real. That's real. So it's your show. So I'm
Mhm.
on the Ask a B show. I'm super excited. So
Well, okay. So now that I got you up here, yesterday you were online. You said you felt the pain from all the way across the U.S., as did many. You made a lot of valid points about the heaviness of the situation and how shocking it was because he was so happy for his successes this season already, right?
yeah.
This young man on outside looked like he was absolutely winning. But the comfort that I received from your message yesterday was that even the strong ones need a place to fall.
Yeah.
And I'd love if you would expound on that.
Well, B and I, yesterday it didn't really get to me because uh, Kneeland was not the first NFL player to commit suicide.
Right.
I'm sorry, I would say unalive himself. I want to make sure we get it right. So,
Thank
um,
you.
and when I'm saying that, for those who don't know, there's some things that YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, all those social media that just don't let you say. And because of that, we got to try to find code words around everything. So, but he's not, and it's unfortunate because you're like, sometimes you're like, I'm just, I was probably one hit or two hits away from maybe being him.
Yeah.
And that's why it really drives home because I did play the game and I played at all the levels but the NFL. And I know I took a lot of shots. I know I've had concussions and all of those things. So when we say that PTSD is real, it is real. I can remember almost every shot I took. I can remember being in
Mm,
buses and going home and you're dizzy, or staying in the game when you're dizzy, but you just play through. They're a lot better now, checking the protocols and going through the concussion protocols. But back when I was playing, there was no protocols. It was
yeah.
get your butt back out there and play,
Mm,
and because of that, a lot of people didn't realize that they had caused a lot of damage to them.
mm,
Playing a game that you love to play and you're entertaining millions and millions around the world,
yeah.
but at the same time, the damage it doesn't go away. It's permanent. It's a permanent damage that you're causing your body, causing your brain. And when it finally, you hit that one note, and we don't know. Again, we don't know what the issue was with Marshawn. We don't know what the issue was, right?
Yeah. Right.
Um, and sometimes we have a lot of pressure added to us as men and women, but I'm
Mhm,
just speaking on the man half of it, my side,
mhm,
that we have a lot of pressure that you just don't like, wow, what made a person go there? What made a person do
right.
that? And sometimes you just don't know. Like I say, I'd say mental illness is real, but it's those other little triggers that causes the problem, I believe.
Yeah.
The stress of having to take care of the family, the stress of
Mhm,
all the people that's relying on you to do, a job that you do every day and you're loving to do it, but to make sure that you're always doing it and
Right.
always doing it, correctly or whatever. So that's a stress that you carry around all the time with you. And sometimes it can add up. I'm sure we're going to find out as they keep digging, something happened or whatever, and you thinking that I, I'm going to disappoint so many people if they find out about this, that is
Right.
if I do, and it's like those little things that we need to be there for each other and say, hey, it's going to be okay. There's nothing that you could have done that's so bad that you have to unalive yourself, or
Right.
something that's going on in your life that's so bad that you have to unalive yourself. But those
Mhm.
are some of the pressures that people go through. Those are some of the thoughts. And it's not just NFL football players. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers and they like US farmers are
Yeah.
like at the highest. And I'm like, a farmer? I mean, your whole thing is about growing and survival and this, but they're at that point. They're at that point where it's like I have I've I don't see any way out. And it's a sad state to be in when you don't see a way out.
It
So
is.
yesterday, I did go live. As you said, it was not scheduled, and it was more as I'm watching the game, and I'm like, man, and you really like, what was that kid thinking? Because he's a kid to me, 24 years old. I'm like, my kids, three of my four sons are older than this young man, and I'm like, what were you thinking? And then what are the signs, and how do we miss these signs? And it's got to be a way that we catch these things. And so that's why it was heavily on my heart because of that.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said, for years I took those shots, and when I see players or hear about players, and I'm like, you're one hit away from having that type of brain damage, that PTSD or whatever else is going on, that feeling, that there's no other way around this or no other way out. And so that's why I went live, and that's why I
Yeah.
shared that. But it was more for the men to know that it's okay to cry.
Mhm.
It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to call on a friend or a loved one or whatever and to say, I can't make it. It's okay to dial that 988 phone number or text that 988 phone number. And that's that phone number for assistance to someone sitting by 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's okay to say, I need help. It's
Yes.
okay. It really is. And I know we've been told all our lives to be tough and pull yourself up and suck it
Mhm.
up and all that, but that was some bad teaching.
Yeah.
And we really need to get to the point of saying it's okay to ask for help and get help.
Absolutely.
Like I said yesterday several times, I'd rather talk to you than talk about you. And right now, we're talking about this young man, even though I didn't even know him, but we're
Yeah.
talking about him. He is now your headline. Of every other social media network somewhere, somebody's talking about this
Mhm.
because it's that real. It's real.
It
And
is.
yeah.
It is. Yeah, and that does lead me into my next question for you. And that's, how do we show up for people that we love? Really? I mean, how? What is the physical part of that? You know? You call somebody, you ask them, and you can tell on the phone, hey, they're really not good. You can hear it in their voice. They walk up to you, you can see it in their eyes when you talk about a certain subject or something like that. But how do you show up? How do you tell them?
Well, I mean, me personally, and you're right. We see it or we hear about it, and it's almost we have this thing like if I don't say anything or if I close my eyes, it'll just go away.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest lie we're telling ourselves. It's not going to go away. I
Mhm.
will say, and I think even some of the advice you had, even with talking to a friend, watching your show, and you're doing a wonderful job on your show. I just want to make sure we get that out there.
You.
But take that person to the side. Don't put them out in front street in front of everybody, but take them to the side and just let them know that you notice, this and this, and ask them, is everything okay? You know,
Yes.
is and the biggest thing is we constantly say how you doing, but we really don't listen to the person's response. We
Thank you.
will say, you know, you walk down the street, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Mhm.
But have you really listened to what the person had to say back? Because
Exactly.
they're like, I'm thinking of hurting myself. Like, all right, well, have a good one. Like, you didn't listen to me. If you'd have paid attention to me, you'd have caught the fact that I said that I'm not in a good spot. And
Yes.
that's one of the big things is so keeping your eyes and ears open, watching for those cues will be huge. And then take the person to the side and let them know that you're there for them. Let them know
Absolutely.
that they can, you know, they can lean on you. But
Mhm.
don't offer it if you don't mean it and you're not going to come through because you don't know when they're going to call. You
Right.
don't know when they're going to reach out and say, "Hey, I need your help. I need you right now." And that's where it's like, okay, all right, what can I do for you? At 2 o'clock in the morning, are you going to be there? At 3 o'clock in the morning, are you going to be there? And that's sometimes where someone needs to know because it's like the darkest hour of the day or the night is when it's going to hit me the most, and I need that person to talk to.
Yeah.
I've had people to talk to. I cannot remember or even say I've ever been in that position that I wanted to unalive myself. I mean, I've had thoughts run through and things like that,
Mhm.
but I've had people I could talk to, or if you just, you know, just talking to a person and you'd be on the phone for hours and didn't even realize it, but it was just, I just needed to talk.
Yeah.
I just needed to talk. And sometimes it's not, you know, I know we had the letter the other day where the person was like, I feel like I'm being used, but it's
Right.
like if you're a good listener, that's really hard to find in a person. So
Mhm.
sometimes you might be you because you're really good at what you do. So yeah, I'm not a good listener as you know, so that person couldn't give me back what I'm giving them, but
Mhm.
I'm a really good listener. So because of that, that's why that person calls on you. You know,
Yeah.
they're calling you because they just need, I need to get this off my chest. You're like, I'm about to boil over and I don't see any way out other than getting all this stuff over off of me. And because you're a good listener, I called you. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's all that person needed was just to be able to get all this off, get it out there, get it off. You know, when you're at that boiling point and you're at that point of no return and you're at that point of I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I'm between that rock and the hard place, and I don't see any way out. But there's a person that's going to listen to me and let me get some of this stuff off of me.
Mhm.
That was enough to get me through to tomorrow, and I might be back tomorrow, and you might be hearing the same story over and over and over.
Yeah.
But that's a sign in itself saying I need help. I need help.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Gosh, that was good, Jack. That was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, the next question that I actually have for you. Do you believe that Marshawn left us with a lesson bigger than football?
Um, I think I think this right here is going to be uh, one of the things that we're going to ask ourselves for years because this young man, like I said, was in the league. He was making a decent living. You know, he was working. He was, like I say, on the outside looking like everything was going in his way,
Right.
and he was still dealing. So now let's turn that page or whatever to the people who are having a hard time, who are
Yes.
being laid off right now, who are not working, not receiving a check, or going to work and not receiving a check, whatever assistance they were getting and they're not getting. You know, so it's like I'm really, really struggling. And if a person who's not struggling
Yeah.
is like, I really need to check myself and I need to make a call because there's people out there that's really struggling. And
Mhm.
and if a person who's you would think got it going on
Yeah.
feels that there's nowhere to turn, what happens to the people that have nowhere to turn? And so,
Mhm.
yes, I think that's going to be a hard lesson that we're all going to, have to address. No different, like I mentioned earlier, the farmers and all of, I've had this land all my life and my whole family, been generation to generations, and now I might lose it because we wasn't able to harvest the crops or whatever was going
Right.
on. So it's like the reality is here now,
Yes.
and things that there's no. This wasn't a meme or AI trick that we put this kid out here. This was real, and I think yes, it's going to change how we look at things. I think
Mhm.
a lot more people are going to start paying attention to uh, the the signs and take
Mhm.
it serious and actually I don't say you have to do something about it, but like the airport tell you, if you see something, say something. So it's time for people to start saying something. you know
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. We've gotten through most of my questions already.
That's okay. I mean, the thing is, I mean, you didn't expect me to be here. I definitely wanted to. Um, I was in the studio getting ready. We got a couple of things. I think you mentioned some of them. Um,
Mhm.
uh, New ideas just popped up in the day. The universe is getting ready to grow. It's growing,
Awesome.
and this is a sad moment. It really is. And we're not a person. We're not a team. We're not a group that try to use clicks and views and this and that's to sustain our the channels, sustain the networks, and sustain the universe. But at the same time, it is reality and it is realistic. I
Mhm.
mentioned last night that I had a classmate when I was in 8th grade who told us he was going to unalive himself, and we blew it off
Mhm.
until we found out that he did it, and it was like, man, I remember what he said, and I remember our reactions because that's not something people say. That's not
Right.
something people do. So you don't really. What's the answer to that? When people. And we've had a guest on the Iron Sharpening Iron show, and we talked about that, where
Mhm.
he said he actually had the pew in his hand and put it between his eyes and pulled the trigger. I'm like, I've
Yeah.
never heard anybody say they did that. I've
No.
never talked to anyone who actually pulled the trigger. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Not in a good amazing. It's just like,
That he survived it is amazing.
yeah, he survived it because we were
Yeah.
having a holding conversation with him, so he made it.
Right.
It's just the fact that it's real. It is so
Yeah,
real, and
it
we've
is.
had people on the show that's mentioned several times they were at that point.
Mhm.
And it's time for us to stop acting like it's real. It's time for us to stop acting like it's just going to go away, or they're weak or they're soft or whatever. That has nothing to do with being weak. It has nothing to do with being soft. Mental illness is like it's a disease. It's not like anything. It's a disease,
Yes.
and it should be addressed like it is. And it's bigger than me talking to you or you talking to me. It's like there are professionals who are out there who are trained to help you get through some of your situations,
Right.
and we need to start reaching out to those professionals. But then at the same time, as a friend, I need to pay attention to you, and
Yeah.
that's the big thing. And if you see it, say it. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with people. If you see something wrong with me, say something so that
Mhm.
either I can fix it or get it corrected or whatever. But don't just let me walk around with a spot on my face, or something on my shirt, and it's like, yeah, I thought you knew. If I knew, I would have took care of it. I would have just kept walking around like that.
Right.
That's what we do sometimes, where it's as clear as the nose on our face, but at the same time, we won't say anything
Mhm.
to them. So
That's funny because I use the same that almost I use my nose as that excuse too. If I can look at somebody, they're staring at me like I've got something on my face. What is my nose growing?
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
lie to you. What is it?
Well,
So yeah,
well,
no, I
people
get
don't want to offend others, and that. Well, I didn't want to tell you, but I'm more offended because you didn't tell me.
right.
I'm more offended
Right.
that you allow me to walk around looking like a hot mess. I'm more offended that you thought it was okay for me to walk around. I
Mhm.
mean, the embarrassment now is far worse than what you could have told me to, and
Right.
you do it in a nice, calm way. You just,
Yeah,
brush your
right.
nose or whatever. But at the same time, it's like you
Yeah.
gotta say something. Don't just let
I
me walk around like that.
I think that's the world's perspective or lack thereof perspective. Nobody's watching, nobody's paying attention anymore.
Yeah,
People need to pay better attention because it's not just about the world around them.
mm.
It
Oh,
very much is about them. So,
so B, I had a stroke a couple of years ago. So I don't
oh,
know if you knew that, but I had a stroke.
no.
So, and I don't know if I ever shared it, and I don't think I did. So sometimes, and when I see myself, especially on the show, I'll see my face droop. I'll see one of the eyes get like it's closing and things like that. And it's not that I'm not tired or whatever. It's just those muscles, because the brain
Mhm.
damage is real. It's never going to go away. It's
Yeah.
just now your nerves have to pick other nerves to do the functions that the one who died took care of. So if
Mhm.
you had 10 nerves that was supposed to keep your eyes open,
Mhm.
and that was what was destroyed in the stroke, then they have to find 10 other nerves to now take that duty of keeping
Right.
the eyes open. So that's just how the brain is working. So it's amazing that it does that. Sometimes it doesn't find the nerves and sometimes it does. But because something else had to take over, sometimes they don't show up to work on time or they don't show up work overtime. So I can sit there and notice when my eye or part of, it'll get droopy and you can see it. And especially when we do like videos and stuff like that, because of the fact that now you're actually seeing yourself and like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, it's drooping. And
Mhm.
that's a form of brain damage. And of course, it's nothing that you can do about it. When the cells die, they die. But
Yeah.
it's just the fact that, those are things that if you saw it, like, are you okay? Because I see your face is because people don't even realize they're stroking.
Right.
They don't even realize that their body is going through that transformation. And it would take someone who was watching me or talking to me to realize that, your eyes is starting to droop or your face is starting one side, your speech is starting to slur. So
Yes.
like all of those things that those are signs, to say this is going on.
Mhm.
Well, it's also some signs that's going on when a person is, having a mental breakdown or
Yes.
they're having a, anxiety attack or things
Mhm.
like that. So it's like we read about the signs, we know about the signs, we hear about the signs, but when you see the sign and do nothing about it, I'm not gonna say it's a waste, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's it's sad. It's sad that you didn't do anything about it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So if you see it on me, I'm just it's because
Well,
I went through it. So yeah.
yeah. Well, I can actually tell you I've had a lot of family members where I've had that happened with them before, so I've seen it.
Mm,
And I kind of had a suspicion, but of course, that's your business, not mine. I wouldn't ask. You
uh,
told freely, and I'm very happy to know because, wow, Big Jack, that's something to go through, though. I
I
mean,
was about like I'm telling you how stubborn men are. This thing happened. Let me see. I was in a training class. So I was in a training class in Pennsylvania. I
Mhm.
live in Maryland. So let's say it's 4 hours separation driving to get from one point to the other. When the tingling started in my fingers, say it was around noon on a Friday. No, on a Thursday, noon on a Thursday. Um, when the training was over, it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Now I still feel a tingling in my fingers. And now I'm starting to feel the tingling around my lip. It's like right around my lip and all. And so that was about 2 o'clock. I
Mhm.
got on the road and I drove home 4 hours. Remember, I told you it was 4 hours.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, I'll get home because just once I get home, if it's still doing this, I'll go see a doctor, blah, blah, blah. So I get home, I pick up my youngest son from daycare, and I got him at the house. Now I can feel the tingling just a little bit more around the eyes, the lips, my hands. And my plan was I'm going to wait till my wife get home and then I'll go to the doctors because I got to make sure that the kid is okay. But see, that again is part of I'm at work, so I can't just leave work.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make sure my kid is good, so I got to take care of my family. I'm gonna wait till my wife get home so someone can take care of my kids, so then I can go to the doctor. But it's
Like my husband having a heart attack and walking himself out to the ambulance.
like,
Gotcha.
but it's 100%. That's the that where we do the dumbest things, but it's the intentions is not to be an inconvenience to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want everyone else to have to fuss over you and this and that. And then the other parts of it is like the guilt because you didn't do something. You didn't, if you was
Mm-hmm.
healthier, if you did this, if you did that, if you ate better, you can say all the things. If you did this, you wouldn't have this problem. But
Right.
that's not always true. But at the same time, those are the things that run through your mind. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? If I get sick, if I can't go to work, if this and that. And then because all that's running through your mind, when things do come to the point where it's like, I, you know, I can't do it. I can't do all this. It's like way too much pressure added on me. And you find yourself, like I say, now I'm in the hospital and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, pretty much there's nothing we could do about it because you waited way too long for us to give you the medicine to, break the clot. So now you deal with the brain damage yourself because you waited way too long. If you'd have went to the hospital in the first hour, we'd have gave you this. But because you put it off, now you deal with it. Now I am blessed. If I didn't tell you the story, you could say, yeah, I thought about it, but I don't know. But I got function. I got everything back. I didn't really lose anything, and I got everything back. But at the same time, uh, it was just the stubbornness in the planning. I had my cell phone already pre-selected for 911 because
Mm-hmm.
I figured if I got to the point where I was going to pass out, the last thing I was going to do before I hit the floor would be hit the button, and that was the plan. How goofy is that plan? But that was my plan.
Oh,
Yeah.
goofy? That's a nice word for it.
So I
Oh my
mean,
goodness, Jack.
yeah. So that was my plan. So of course you got to hear it when the wife gets home and what was you thinking and that you're not thinking.
Hmm?
What you're
Yeah.
thinking is you have responsibilities. What you're
Yes.
thinking is I can't call on you every 10 seconds because I'm not feeling well or whatever. And that's no different than a lot of mothers out there who
Mm.
are sick and don't have time to be sick because I still got to get the kids up, still got to get them to school and da.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we do some really things to ourselves because there's so many other people relying on us. And I'm not, like I say, I don't know Marshawn's issue. I don't know what he was going through. But like I say, I know at that level, when you got thousands and thousands and thousands of people cheering for you and thousands of people calling on you and this and that. And then when you made, like I say, your first career touchdown in the NFL, you probably got more calls and more this and more that, and before you know it, it's like, that's way more than I bargained for. That's
Yeah.
way more than I wanted. And that's like, this is crazy. I need a break from
Mhm.
this. And a lot of athletes, a lot of movie stars and all, they have to take that break because it's way more than you asked for. It's way more. When you're in
Absolutely.
Smallville, it doesn't matter to us, but when you get to that level, you know, as many phone calls you got cheering you, I don't even know how many phone calls he got booing him and threatening him and all that because somebody lost money because you ran that touchdown and messed the numbers up where you just don't know
Yeah.
what was going on. So it's things that you got like, what happened? And
Yeah.
we will never know. We will never know what happened. But
Mhm.
at the same time, uh, because he's not here to talk to us about it, but it's more to a person's life than just it's more to a person's life than all that is going on. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anyway, I didn't want to take up your show. I know.
No, thank you. Like I said in the beginning, I can't think of a better person to sit and talk this through with. You've got a lot of insight where it comes through to the football and, well, obviously men's stubbornness.
Yeah, we we,
and
we knuckleheads.
and my first guest, my very first guest, it absolutely has to be you.
Oh, look, I appreciate that.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I
that was not
appreciate
that was definitely not the intention to come up here and hog the show and any kind of way. I see you got Niecy Jackson down there, or she was down. I guess she's still down there.
it.
But
Yeah, she's
always good to
there.
have her down there.
Yeah, that's my plus sister there.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
But you're
I'm
doing a wonderful job. Really, super excited. I love watching the show, and I didn't want to take away from your. I'd like to say I just happened to be in the studio and, getting ready. We got a big weekend coming up, and I want to make sure we get some things lined up. And it's no bigger than your show. Your show is doing great, and
it's not a competition. We help each other out. Grow and glow.
right. It's all about that's what it's all about. To grow and
Absolutely.
glow, and it's growing. It really is. It's doing well. It's doing well.
I
And
think it's glowing too.
yeah, we're in a good spot. I mean, I'm okay, and I'm okay with where we are.
Me
Uh,
too. Me too.
yeah. No,
Sounds like you need to get back to work though.
no, no. It's always something going on, and
Mhm.
and it's nothing wrong. I'm good. I'm good. I apologize, but there's always
Yeah,
something
it's
going,
okay. It's
and it's
okay.
I took a vacation day today from my 9 to 5, but that doesn't get you a vacation from everything else in your life.
Not at all.
Yeah,
I
but
know how busy
yeah,
you are.
it's the weekend, and when you say, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," but then it's like, you're probably gonna get nothing done.
No, probably not. I have
Yeah,
all that to do too, but
yeah, yeah.
it never works out that way,
So
especially with
now,
your
ex-
grandchild involved.
explain to me the show concept. So how does your show work?
The show concept. Okay. The format basically is just I have people coming in sending me emails about just random questions, really. And I'm going to put those emails back up too
Mm,
to get in touch with any of us. But yes, please send us an email. I like to read them out online and then try and give somewhat of a objective, I guess, opinion and maybe help somebody out that might not think of that answer in
mm,
their situation. So I just it all depends on how opinionated I get.
right. Yeah.
you know but sometimes it helps, and I have had a couple of people. I do like to go in, and if someone has sent it to me anonymously, I will let them know, listen, I've decided I'm going to read your letter today, and so they could come and watch and get their answer as soon
Mm,
as possible.
gotcha.
And I have had a couple of people come in and tell me, thank you so much. And of course, now somebody's going to go through and do some weed eating behind me.
No, ain't nobody said that.
Well, the dogs might bark if I go mute for a second. Take over, will you?
It's all it's all part of a live show. We get
It
all
sure
get
is.
it all.
Well,
You
you
know,
seen what I did yesterday, didn't you?
uh, did I miss? Okay.
I was on for about 10 seconds without a mic.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hey, we've all done it, right?
been there.
I
Yeah.
had to have my moment.
One of the things that I try to do when we're on the show is I pull up uh, the YouTube. I pull up actually watching it.
Yeah.
So we're on StreamYard. So for those who know, that's out there watching and be our studio is through StreamYard. So when we say we're in the studio, we're in StreamYard. We're in the back. We're doing little different things. But when we go live on YouTube and live on Facebook, live on Twitch, or whatever social media network. Only one we can't go live on is TikTok. So TikTok and StreamYard don't agree with each other, or don't. There's no way to go live with TikTok, but that's here nor there. But when I have it up on the screen and I hit the play or the live button, go live, I sometimes forget to mute the YouTube screen. So all of a sudden I'm hearing it. And when I come up there, I'm like, okay, welcome to the Sharpening Iron Shop, your man Big Jack, da da da. And then I hear it again. And that's because that's because it's still I forgot to mute it. So now I gotta find it. And I have I don't even know what the inches is, but it's like 3 monitors in one. So I got one big
Yeah.
monitor that goes all the way across. But when you're trying to take a mouse and trying to find that screen, it takes a minute to get there. And so no, you're not alone. It happens all the time. Without a mic, sometimes I forget to unmute myself. It's part of being in a live environment,
Yeah.
and it makes it fun. So
It
it's
was pretty funny. I'll have to go back and watch that. I think I handled it pretty well.
we definitely have hit the wrong button. People popping up on the screen.
That was me.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to take this real quick. I'm gonna pop off for B. You got about
Okay.
10 minutes. I'm gonna pop off. All right.
All right. Thank you, Jack. I'm
You're
glad you
welcome.
were here. Bye bye. All right. Well, honestly, that was been a good show. I think we are going to go ahead and let it finish here. Um, with this thought, I'd like to leave us. Marshawn left us with a lesson bigger than football. You know, he reminded us to pay attention and to slow down, to look deeper, ask better questions, to love harder, and to make mental health in our young men seriously. Take it to heart, okay? Not someday, but today. Now, Marshawn, you gave us more than you know. You mattered. Your life, your presence mattered. And your impact didn't end with a scoreboard. It lives on in the way Dallas shows up for each other from this day forward. Now, Dallas, if you loved this young man, if you cheered for him, if you felt this loss, honor him by being present for the people beside you today, not tomorrow, not when it's too late. Okay? Today. Take care of each other. Because even the brightest lights need someone to hold them when they flicker. Okay? And listen, you guys, that was an amazing show. I love having Big Jack up here on my stage as my first guest. And Nisi, you're still there, honey. I'm going to get you up on the Ladies' Diary or something one of these days. I love you, plus, sister. Thank you for being here for me. And for anybody else that's out there that comes in and sees the replay, I'm so happy that you showed up. Make sure you go over and you check out Big Jack Story Time with Iron Sharpening Iron Universe. He has his shows on Wednesdays and Sundays. We have a ton of spinoffs that y'all need to get into. The very next one that I absolutely need y'all to be there for. Y'all go show up for her because she's been showing up for you. Mama Lines, Coach's Corner, this Sunday. Be there, please. Now, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for another Ask a Bee. I will not be here on Sunday because we don't work on the Lord's Day here. Keep your peace. Keep your faith. Keep your funny. And please like, share, and subscribe for more. Don't miss my 24/7 live streams on 3i Atlas, Betelgeuse National Weather, and Solar Activity. This has been Ask a Bee, where questions find courage, and today, where hearts find healing. I love you, Nisi. You have a good day too, honey. Bye-bye now.